Also, state and local funding from Washington is essential. This is now turning into a political brawl on state and local funding. More and more, some of the elected officials in Washington are saying they're against it. They're led by Senator Mitch McConnell, who leads the Senate, who makes it blatantly political. No blue state bailout. No blue state bailout. What is he trying to say? The states that have coronavirus are Democratic states. And he's a Republican, so he doesn't want to help the Democratic states. He went so far as to say, well, he'd be in favor of the states going bankrupt. First, states have never gone bankrupt. States can't go bankrupt. There are serious constitutional questions about whether or not a state can go bankrupt, declare bankruptcy. And you need a federal law that would allow the states to declare bankruptcy, even if you got around the constitutional question on bankruptcy. So if he believed that, if it wasn't just political rhetoric and personal vitriol, then pass a law that allows states to declare bankruptcy. He would have to do that. And I dare him to do that and get that bill signed by the president. So, but to make it partisan is what is most disturbing. And you can see they're now rallying the partisan troops. Senator Scott from Florida says we're supposed to bail them out. We versus them. We're supposed to bail them out. It's we and it's them. That's not right. Who is we and who is them? Who is we and who is them? Them, the people who had coronavirus. They are the ones who had the coronavirus. We, without the virus, are supposed to bail out those people who have the virus. What an ugly sentiment. First of all, on the facts, it's not even close to right. And why they would even want to go down this road when the facts damn everything they're saying. And there are still facts. I know it's hard to communicate facts in this environment. I know a lot of the filters don't communicate facts. They all communicate spin now. Everybody has their own spin. But there are still facts that are not political theater, right? New York State bails them out every year. They're not bailing us out. We bail them out every year. New York State pays $29 billion into that federal pot, $29 billion more every year that we never get back. Our state contribution into the federal pot, the United States of America pot, every year we put in $29 billion more than we take out. On the other hand, they take out every year $37 billion more than they pay to the federal government. Senator Mitch McConnell, you are bailing out New York when every year you take out more from the kitty, the federal pot, $37 billion more than you put in? Who is bailing out whom? Senator Scott, Florida? You're going to bail us out? You take out $30 billion more every year than you pay in. How dare they? How dare they when those are the facts? How long are you going to play the American people and assume they're stupid? They are not. And they can add. And they know facts. And I don't care what the news media tries to do to distort these facts. They are numbers. And they are facts. And they can't be distorted. And this is every year. And look, what this is really about, it's the Washington doublespeak. You look at the bills that they want to pass and who they want to help. They want to fund the hotels, the restaurants, the airlines, the big corporations. That's who they want to fund. Well, who do state and local governments fund? State and local governments fund police, firefighters, nurses, school teachers, food banks. That's who I want to fund. And that's what it means to fund a state and local government. And that's the choice that they're making. Everybody applauds the healthcare workers. Jets fly over in tribute to the healthcare workers. That's all nice. Saying thank you is nice. How about actually rewarding them and making their life easier? How about giving them hazard pay? How about helping with their child care? How about helping families who can't feed their kids right now? How about helping the police and helping the firefighters and all the people who are out there right now killing themselves to make life easier for us? That's what this is really about. They want to fund corporate America. That's who puts money in their pockets. And I say, let's fund working Americans. That's the choice. Bailout, us, them. No, it's just theater. It's just smoke and mirrors to avoid the American people seeing the reality, which is whose pocket they want to put money in versus whose pocket state and local governments want to fund. The reason it is so disturbing to me, I'm not surprised by anything in politics. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly for many, many years. I was in Washington for 8 years. I know what it's like. But if there was ever a time that one could reasonably believe you could put aside partisan politics, if there was ever going to be a moment where we could say, you know what, let's stop, just for one moment, the partisanship, the ugliness, the anger, the deception. Let's just stop for one moment. If there was going to be a one moment to hit the pause button, the moment would be now. You have human suffering. You have people dying. You can't stop the politics, even in this moment? Even in this moment, when people are dying all across the country, you still want to play your politics? That's what this is about. And that's why it is so disturbing on a fundamental level. Politics, I'm getting up and I'm reading that death toll number. I'm speaking to the widows and the brothers and the sisters and the children of people who died. And then we're going to play politics with funding that's necessary to save people's lives? I mean, when does it stop? And the disconnect is between the political leadership and the people. Because the American people, it's not them. They are principled, they are kind, they are better than what they are getting. The American instinct is to help each other in crisis. The American instinct is to be good neighbors. The American instinct was the farmer who sent me the one mask to help a New Yorker when he only had 5 masks and a wife with 1 lung and underlying illness. And he sends 1 of his 5 masks to New York. Think about that generosity, that charity, that spirit. That's America. Why? Because we're good neighbors, because we care about one another. America was when I said we need help in our emergency rooms and hospitals, and 95,000 nurses and doctors from across the nation said, We will come to New York to help. We'll come into the emergency room. We'll come into the hospital. I understand it's COVID. I'll leave my family and I'll come to help yours. That's America. That's who we are. And that's who we have shown ourselves to be in the middle of this crisis. The crisis brings out the best and the worst. Yes. And the best of America is beautiful. And that's what we've seen. Because yes, we are tough. Yes, we are smart. Yes, we're disciplined. Yes, we're united. Yes, we're loving. Because we are Americans. And that's who we are and how we are as Americans. And I just hope the political leadership of this nation understands how good we are as a people. And the textbook says politicians lead, elected officials lead. No, sometimes the people lead, and the politicians follow. And that's where we are today. Follow the American people. Look at what they're doing. Look at how they're reacting. And politicians, try to be half as good as the American people. I want to show you a self-portrait that was done by American people. This is a self-portrait of America. Okay? That's a self-portrait of America. And you know what it spells? It spells love. That's what it spells. You have to look carefully, but that's what the American people are saying. We received thousands of masks from all across America, unsolicited, in the mail, homemade, creative, personal, with beautiful notes from all across the country, literally. Just saying, thinking about you, we care, we love you, we want to help. And this is just people's way of saying we care and we want to help. This is what this country is about. And this is what Americans are about. A little bit more of this and a little bit less of the partisanship and the ugliness, and this country would be a better place.